printing in China began as blocks cut from wood used to print textiles, and then it was used to reproduce short religious texts that were carried as charms of believers of Buddhism. The compass was first created in China, and this is a picture of one of the first compasses that were ever made. The fork was actually invented in China long before the Chinese started using chopsticks. Long after forks were invented in China, chopsticks were also invented. Chopsticks is what most Chinese use now. Tea was initially created in China to cure diseases and sicknesses. We now use tea to drink and to enjoy. The Chinese first invented toilet paper when they realized that it was easier to use than water. The Chinese Civil War took place in 1927 through 1950. It was a war between the Chinese Nationalist Party and the Chinese Communist Party. They were fighting over the control of China. This war was what made China separate into two different sections, the Republic of China and the People's Republic of China. The Shang dynasty was between 1750 and 1040 BC. The Shang was the most advanced bronze-working civilization in the world and was when writing was invented in China. The Shang dynasty was probably the most sacrificing ages. If a king died, hundreds of slaves would die for him also. The distribution of wealth in the Asia-Pacific region in 2008 was a total of $7.4 trillion. China had a total of 22.7% of that wealth. In 2010, China became the biggest exporter in all of the world. The unemployment rate in China is 6.5%. The main agriculture products in China are rice, wheat, potatoes, corn, peanuts, tea, barley, apples, cotton, oilseed, pork, and fish. China is the world's largest producer and consumer of agriculture products and is the world's largest producer of rice. The oil production in China is 4.073 million barrels per day. The oil consumption in China is 9.4 million barrels per day. The oil exports in China is 506,500 barrels per day. The oil imports in China is 5.08 million barrels per day. The renminbi, which means people's currency, is the currency of China. A Chinese yuan equals $1 US. The population in China is 1,343,239,923 people. The air pollution in China is really bad right now because of the coal production. China is a huge coal producer, and this causes lots of air pollution. Water pollution is also bad in China right now, just like any other country in the world. The reason for this is that companies and factories are dumping all of their waste into the rivers and lakes and oceans. Deforestation is also a problem in China, just like many other places. The amount of forests in China have gone down considerably in the last few decades. China is the world's leader in murder, with an estimated 15,000 people killed a year. Beijing is the capital of China. The president of China is Hu Jintao. The animal of China is the giant panda. The flower of China is the tree peony. Thanks so much for watching my video on China, and I hope that you learned a lot.